สวัสดีครับเพื่อนๆสวัสดีครับผมมาแล้วสวัสดีนะสวัสดีนะครับเพื่อนๆพี่นะครับเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะเพื่อนก็อาร์เซนอลนะครับไปเยือนบอร์นมัธนะครับเพื่อนๆอย่าลืมนั้นเพื่อนเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยมาสวัสดีนะครับพี่ๆเพื่อนทุกคนสวัสดีปีใหม่นะเพื่อนๆพี่ทุกคนเอามาเรามาเจอมาดูบอลกันคู่นี้กันต่อมาเดี๋ยวเรามาดู11รายชื่อผู้เล่นตัวจริงของอาร์เซนอลนะครับเพื่อนวันนี้อาร์เซนอลมาในแผน4-3-3นะเพื่อนนะครับประตูเป็นดาวิดลาย่านะคู่เซนเตอร์เป็นซาลิบากาเบียลนะครับแบ็คขวานะครับยูเลนทิมเบอร์นะกลับมาแล้วนะหายจากอาการบาดเจ็บแล้วก็แบ็คซ้ายนะอีคาปิเย่นะกองกลาง3คนนะครับมีโอเดการ์ดทูเมเมนดี้แล้วก็เดแคนไลท์นะเดแคนไลท์ก็หายแล้วเหมือนกันตัวลุกนะครับมีมาดูเอเก้นะครับโยเคเลสแล้วก็กาเบียลมาตินเนลลี่นะส่วนของบอลมัดนะมาในแผน4-2-3-1นะประตูเป็นเปโตวิดนะอย่างทาเฟลเจมิเนสทาวิเลียอย่างเงี้ยแล้วก็สกอตไคเวิร์ดเซเมนโยที่เป็นมีข่าวดังมากกับแมนซิตี้นะแล้วก็ไอ้บุ๊กนะแล้วหน้าเป้าเป็นเอเวอเรชันนะตัวลุกนะครับของอาร์เซนอลนะตัวสำรองนะครับก็มีเกป้านะเบนไวท์ลูอิสเกลลี่นะนอร์การ์ดเอเซ่มิเกลโมเรโนแล้วก็บูโยซาก้านะครับพูดผิดบูโยซาก้ากาเบรียลเจสุสแล้วก็ทอซ่านะครับวันนี้ไคฮาวเวิร์ดยังไม่มีชื่อนะครับแต่กลับมาซ้อมแล้วเต็มรูปแบบแล้วก็ตัวเจ็บก็มีมอสเกล่าคาราฟิลลี่แมกนอร์แมนนะครับนะเพื่อนๆก็ของบอลมัดนะครับก็ตัวอย่างตัวสำรองก็ลูอิสคุกเหรอผมไม่ค่อยรู้จักนะเพื่อนๆก็เฟเตอร์ฟอร์เตอร์ก็เป็นตัวสำรองนะก็ประมาณนี้เพื่อนๆเกมเริ่มแล้วเดี๋ยวเรามาดูบอลกันดีกว่าเพื่อนๆมาเรามาดูบอลกันมาเพื่อนฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเข้ามาแล้วเพื่อนเรามาเชียร์บอลกันดีกว่าสวัสดีปีใหม่นะครับพี่ๆเพื่อนๆทุกคนนะเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์เอาโอ้โหโยเคเลสโยเคเลสมึงต้องแอคทีฟมากกว่านี้นะเอาจริงไทยเฮาแบตก็เริ่มกลับมาแล้วนะเพื่อนอย่าลืมนะเพื่อนสวัสดีปีใหม่นะครับ2026นะสวัสดีปีใหม่เลยเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับพี่ๆน้องๆนะครับบอลอยู่ที่กาเบรียลนะครับวันนั้นโอ้โหชนะซาวิล่าแต่ผมไปเที่ยวนะไปขึ้นเขานะไปกลางเต็นท์ขึ้นเขาไม่มีสัญญาณเลยไม่ได้โพสต์ไม่ได้อะไรเลยครับเพื่อนๆกลับมาไม่เป็นไรเอาไปแล้วมาดูเก้เอายิงไอ้เฮียแชมป์คานโอ้โหเพื่อนโอ้โหเพื่อนโอ้โหดูดิเนี่ยโล่งๆแล้วเพื่อนยิงออกไปเฉยเลย
to ensure that he can keep possession. Ball is played back into Saliba. Just saw a clip of Kepa.
โอ้โหเกือบไปนิดเดียวครับเพื่อนๆรู้ยังไงอาร์เซนอลต้องชนะเท่านั้นนะครับเพื่อนๆไม่งั้นแมนซิตี้จะบี้มาทันนะอาร์เซนอลโอ้มาดูเก้มันเก่งอยู่แล้วเพื่อนแต่มันแค่จังหวะสุดท้ายเท่านั้นเองนะครับแล้วพรุ่งนี้นี่บอลเยอะเหมือนกันนะเพื่อนลีดเจอแมนยูลิเวอร์พูลเจอฟูลแลมนิวคาสเซิลเจอชิคแกมเพลเลตสเปอร์เจอซันเดอร์แลนด์นะเพื่อนแล้วก็เที่ยงคืนครึ่งนี่ครับแมนซิตี้เจอเชลซีนี่เลยฝากเชลซีด้วยแล้วกันว่าฝากด้วยนะครับเพื่อนลุย
from midfield. That's a terrible ball from Gabriel. He's given it to Evan Nielsen. It's a shocking error. He slotted it home. It's an awful error from Gabriel, who just does not appreciate the space that he's in. He plays a first-time pass for no reason, a defensive howler from a tremendous comeback in midweek to practically gifting Bournemouth a goal. It's Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 0.
I can't believe what I've just seen there from Gabriel. Arguably the best centre-half in the league in the last couple of seasons, but
แต่ทำไมเกมป้ามันก็เคยอยู่
absolute nightmare from the Brazilian. He gets the ball played to him in acres of room by Martin Zubimendi or Pierre Gabriel, I should say, sorry. And he doesn't even look before playing that pass. I mean, firstly, you're told from the age of 5
มีข่าวหนาหูมากนะเพื่อน
across your goal like Gabriel
ทีม
just
ชา
done
ติกาน่า
there. But you especially do not do it when you've not even looked up. I mean, it's absolutely dreadful. David Raya's not helped him out loads because his positioning's a bit odd, but he's trying to offer himself behind and he's not expecting Gabriel to pass it straight to Evan Nielsen. But Bournemouth will not care one bit. They've been under the cosh a little bit in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. And Evan Nielsen, who has struggled this season to recapture the form of last campaign,
Gabriel ยิงโอ้โหเรียบร้อยเลย
in the Premier League.
โอ้โห
And
กาเบรียล
he's the one in his Bournemouth career.
I mean, yeah.
โอ้โหทำไมกาเบรียลทำอย่างนี้อ่ะ
No,
เพื่อน
I mean, he doesn't, does it? Because he passed it straight to Evan
Because he
Nielsen
doesn't
one-on-one.
expect. I don't think he ever expects him to.
โอ้
I
โห
know you want to
กา
be
เบรียล
that
กู
position in theory, but it's because his team have the ball and don't have any issues.
โอ้โหเพื่อนกาเบรียล
I mean, it's that bad that it should be an assist for Gabriel. That's how bad that pass is. But they have to move on. Quite simply, they can't afford to
โอ้โห
sit and
เพื่อน
dwell. As here is Rice, shake of the head from him at one of his teammates' suggestions.
กาเบรียลไม่ทำอย่างนี้
Rice lines it up, and Arsenal will now flood the box. Gabriel faces a team that have not been too good from set pieces defensively this year, so every reason that he can right that wrong as Semenyo slices the ball. It's cleared away though by Scott in
โอ้โห
defense.
กาเบรียล
Back in by
โอเคไม่เป็นไร
Semenyo picks
กา
up
เบรียล
the
พลาด
loose pass, and he's been held by Gabriel, who's got to be careful. Free kick given against the Brazilian. And Semenyo is such a powerful player. Speaking to a few colleagues in the last couple of days, and I was watching a few
โอ้โหกาเบรียลกู
insights into what Man City's
อ่า
team
เพื่อน
could
ไป
be, and it's frightening to
ตอน
think
มัด
that
นำ 1-0 ครับ ไม่เป็นไรอ่ะ
Semenyo on one
อาร์เซ
side,
นอล
a couple of other options on the left, Cherky, Foden, Rodri. He would add such a dimension to their attack, as for now he's in this team as Cliver goes for goal from around about 25 yards out, maybe a bit longer. It came from nowhere. Tavernier into Cliver. Gabriel had to retreat. Rice tried to close him down, and he's a whisker away. Came from nowhere, really. I mean, the pass was into midfield. I think he's got every right to hit it, though.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I tell you what, he's not far away at all.
กาเบรียลกูแจกส้มเลยอ่ะแม่งรถขนส้มเลยไม่ใช่รถขนฝันแล้วทีเนี้ยรถขนส้มเลยครับพี่น้องครับ
I was in the office the other day waiting for the Chelsea Bournemouth game. When you see the lineup, you saw the lineup that they went with. It was seemed very, very attacking. Having not watched that game, but seeing how this team is playing today, you understand why Iraola's gone for it. Tavernier and Scott and Brooks in particular are just dragging this Arsenal midfield left, right, and centre, and that's where that space comes from for Cliver. Is you know, Tavernier and Brooks make a run across to the near side, which means Cliver can just hang on the edge of the penalty area. And because Rice and Zubimendi have got to go with Brooks and Tavernier because of how dangerous they are in the final third, it just opens it up for Cliver brilliantly. And he's not far away at all. And Arsenal have really got to be careful that they don't allow all this space to open up for Bournemouth too often, because they've got players who can score from distance as well as in close range.
Bournemouth just conceded a free kick, and he just bundled into the back of Gyökeres, very clumsy. Doesn't need to do it. Rice has got a free kick, which is taking an awful long time over. Goes back to Gabriel. Rolls it to Rice, and it's played out towards the left edge from Martinelli. Zubimendi offers a helping hand inside. He's picked out, immediately closed down by Tavernier as another player in Arsenal colours goes to ground, and that time it was Nkapie, and he was pushed by Jimenez, who laughs off the protest, but
กาเบรียลกูแจกส้มหล่นทีไปไม่เป็นเลยเพื่อน
free kick, and Arsenal will thank these sort of situations. Of course, set pieces is their bread and butter. And Gabriel will make his way forward. He wants a word with Rice of the sort of pass he wants delivering. I mean, such an advantage that Rice is back for them because he scored in midweek from a corner. And Arsenal look so threatening from set pieces without their best
อ๋อ
takeout.
เพื่อนยังมีโอกาสไป
First
อาร์
this
เซนอล
season, 6 games, not often. Only won 1 though, Arsenal. So it's a boost to the rest of the league if that form continues. Rice steps up to hit this free kick. High floating ball straight into the path of Petrovic, but a defender gets in his way first. And it's back out to Madueke. All the attackers still forward for Arsenal. Madueke to the byline. Semenyo dives in, goes towards the byline. Great feet from Madueke. Cut back. The player goes down. There's Martinelli. Gabriel on the rebound, and he tries to thump it home, and he has. And Gabriel has made an immediate response for Arsenal. Bournemouth won, Arsenal won, and what a moment for the Brazilian. I did think he'd make a comeback. I didn't think it'd be in front of goal.
Yeah, it's fantastic from Gabriel, isn't it? Just picks up the right space at the right time, but so much credit has got to go towards Noni Madueke, who does brilliantly to just drive towards the byline. We said earlier on, didn't we, that you always know he wants to cut in his left foot, but I would argue in the last 12 months or so, he's really developed a strong right foot, and a strong ability to get towards the byline. The ball is swung initially. It's not a back punch from Petrovic, but Madueke reacts quicker than anybody else. Semenyo, poor defensively, allows Madueke just to drift into the penalty area. He cuts it back in towards the 6-yard box. It's a good initial block on the effort from Martinelli, but Bournemouth are just too deep in the penalty area. It all comes from their slowness in getting out once that ball finds its way to Madueke, and he does brilliantly well to get it into the penalty area. Eventually, it was a matter of when rather than if Arsenal
ไปแล้วมาดูเก้ตัดเข้าไปเอายิงยิงยิงยิงเรียบร้อยยิงเรียบร้อย
Probably not, and I think it's probably a good thing that Arsenal in the end. But Gabriel atoning from his error brilliantly with a goal to equalise very quickly afterwards, and we've got a game on our hands here.
It's a good finish.
Yeah,
I know he's got a free shot, but for a centre back, I know modern footballers are still, technically very gifted, but yeah, very, very good is the effort. They are having given a VAR check. I think there's a delay somewhere because Rice and Gabriel are trying to break things down. I think it's more about what they've noticed in the game. I mean, it's such a good response, and it's a title-winning team if you can continue to come back from adversity like this. Aston Villa pushed them in that first half before Arsenal switched things up and just totally outclassed them. I don't think that'll be the case tonight. I think Bournemouth will still be there in parts. They're such a gung-ho team under Iraola. At home, they're fine, Bournemouth. Their record is pretty good. It's their away record that's absolutely woeful. They've got the most goals conceded away from home in the Premier League this season. As here's Gyökeres on the attack. He's trying to find a way through towards goal. Shots hits Hill in the chest. It'll go for a corner. A nice early sighter for Victor Gyökeres. And Bournemouth, it is decent enough defending from them to recover. He dived in a little bit, but Hill got himself back in place. That goal tonight conceded is only the 7th goal conceded by Bournemouth at home, which is some going in 9 games. The issue is away from home, they've conceded 29.
Ridiculous.
If they can fix that, then they might be able to climb the tail, because they are plummeting towards the bottom 3, by the way. It has sometimes gone unnoticed. Ball in towards the far post, punched away by Petrovic. Semenyo will pick up the pieces and he will have a chance to clear it, and he curls it forward. It's back out to Raya. He thumps it into the opposite end of the stadium. No doubt about it that he's not trying to take a risk, but yeah, no real foothold for Bournemouth, Luke, to once they got the goal. It isn't as if they've had a period where they can relax and chill out, because the free kick conceded was pretty poor. The corner then's, corner set piece. Everything about Arsenal's dead ball situation is so dangerous. You don't even give yourself a chance to enjoy it, as Arsenal are under a little bit of pressure. I think the main effort from this aggressive pressurising for Bournemouth is, this is going to be a nightmare for Arsenal. They might have to go long all night until they've tired these forwards out.
Yeah, well, I think that's why, once again, despite his brilliant form, Gabriel Jesus, Mikel Arteta is stuck with Victor Gyökeres up front, because I think he knows that the long ball is going to have to come more often than not. I just think once they took the lead, Bournemouth, they were never going to be that team who were able to control the game and just sit deep and get it under control. It was always going to be really difficult. Unfortunately for them, they've got not necessarily an inexperienced backline, but a backline which I just think is really quite rash. I think Alex Jimenez offers an awful lot going forward, but defensively he is rogue, to say the least. And Marcos Senesi, I've not seen a centre-half dive in as much as he does, as often as it's really quite frustrating to watch at times, but they're always going to come forward, and they're always going to pose Arsenal problems along their back four. It's just who causes more issues and who's more clinical when they get the chances.
Yeah, he's now got to try and keep things tight as Bournemouth look to respond up front. Here is that man who's way out of position, by the way, Senesi on the attack. Timber takes it from him makes his way forward. Here's Madueke. He goes down the right-hand side and tries to get past Druffer, and he has got goal side of him, but fairness to the Bournemouth left back. He wrestles as much as he possibly can to get a toe to the ball and does just that, as here is Zanetti looking for a way through and she's to try and shore things up, and he does. So since the other initial goal, they've not had a chance to group. 78% possession for Arsenal. 6 touches in the box, 3 shots.
สวัสดีปีใหม่ครับจากฝูงเกิดอะไรขึ้นเล่นสกอร์สูงคู่นี้เปลี่ยนสกอร์ด้วยขอโทษ
He's got a goal assist.
1-1อ่ะเพื่อนเมื่อกี้กาเบียลแจกส้มไง
Should be offside. Takes a touch. Will go for goal. The flag won't go up and deny it
แก
anyway. And Evan Nilsson.
สวัสดีนะครับพี่ศักดิ์อดินนะครับสวัสดีปีใหม่ครับนี่
I don't think he expected.
เพิ่งไปซื้อเสื้ออาร์เซนอลมาแฟนซื้อให้
Inside touch. Evan Nilsson
เพิ่งไปซื้อเสื้อมาเนี่ยเลยเนี่ยยังไม่ได้แกะป้ายเลยเดี๋ยวเพื่อน
choice, but to go for
แฟนซื้อให้ของขวัญปีใหม่
absolute
นี่
howler
โม้
of
หน่อย
our issue. As Raya prepares to take this latest free kick, it tells everyone in Arsenal colours to push
ดู
forward.
ดิครับมาดูไอ้เก้แม่งแน่นอนว่ะเพิ่งเล่นดีนะมาดูไอ้เก้อะ
Off from David Raya, and his teammates clearly haven't got in position too early because he's taking his time. The former Brentford man thumps it up towards Gyökeres, who's been jumped in the air by Hill and nearly gets manhandled, but not enough to give a free kick. Madueke picks up a loose
มาดูไอ้
touch.
เก้เล่นดีนะเอาจริงๆอ่ะ
Back to Saliba, Zubamendi. You've got to feel Rice and Zubamendi will play crucial roles tonight because they're going to have to relieve their defenders of pressure. All they've done though is play them into pressure. They've tried to combine for a 1-2 and given it away. Here is Tavernier out towards the left-hand side for Scott. Bournemouth running through, good position to cut the ball back, which they have, deflected away by defender Zubamendi that gets in between the 2 centre halves. Here is Druffer, back out to Brooks, into Cliver. Brooks again, the captain, rolls it inside to Tavernier. Back it goes to Scott. Bournemouth zipping around the ball with some purpose. Senesi floats it out now to the right-hand side for Jimenez, who takes a touch, now trying to find a way through the Bournemouth right back, looking to go at the byline, cuts back inside Martinelli. The two standing each other up. Jimenez looking for an avenue to go back, which he does. Floated in from Hill, header towards goal, and it's flicked on. I think it's by Tavernier coming in late. Feels like a deep line midfielder tonight, Tavernier. All action, gets involved. We are at the halfway point of the first half. It'll be Luke to take us through to half-time, but I'm enjoying this. There's an element to it that's sometimes quite tactical, and then all of a sudden it just bursts out into all-out, not madness, but there's a real desire from both to get the ball forward, Luke, and play on the front foot. It's making for a great watch. So here's to you getting a load more chances.
Yeah, cheers, Tom, thank you. I think you're absolutely right. It is chaotic to say the least at times. I think Bournemouth benefit an awful lot more when it is chaotic, and it's Arsenal that are enjoying it a fair bit more when it drops into a bit of a lull. But here come the Cherries now through midfield, having again won it back off of an Arsenal midfielder. It's Tavernier now, squared up there by Ødegaard, but moving on to the near side for Truffert, who will go all the way back to Senesi. Arsenal with every single player behind the ball at the moment. Although Ødegaard and Gyökeres now going to step into Bournemouth territory to just put the squeeze on a little bit. Marcus tries to turn Gabriel. Challenge comes in from the Brazilian, but still Bournemouth come forward, and then Evan Nilsson is brought down by Gabriel, who seemingly can't stay out of the game at the minute. He'll do one thing brilliantly and then make a complete hash of his next task, and on this occasion it was trying to take the ball off of Evan Nilsson. He can have no complaints with the decision there from our referee this evening, Chris Kavanagh, who was recently bumped up to UEFA's top level of referee. So England have now got 3 referees in that sort of top bracket of European refs. He joins Anthony Taylor and Michael Oliver in that top bracket. There's a rather big discussion going on over this free kick. For a moment there was 6 Bournemouth players standing over the ball as working out who was going to take it. It's now been narrowed down to 2 in Kluivert and Marcus Tavernier. Marcus's brother James was involved in the Old Firm derby earlier on, which finished 3-1 to Rangers. He'll be hoping that he can repeat a similar scoreline for Bournemouth this evening. It's still on the cards, of course, with the score currently at 1-1. He's still standing over this free kick along with Justin Kluivert, although it looks as though Justin Kluivert is a little bit more interested. About 35 yards away from goal, angled to the right. He's going to go for goal here, Kluivert. And, well, he struck it well because it's damaged the advertising hoardings behind the goal, but it's wide of the post, and Arsenal live to fight another day. And they're now going to look to try and come forward on the counter-attack. Here's Timber linking up well with his captain, Martin Ødegaard. Ødegaard then moves on to the near side for
ดู
Rice.
ทรงแล้ว
Rice to
จะ
Matt
จบ
Waking,
เท่าไหร่
trying
วะ
to
เนี่ย
feed
เพื่อน
Rice
24 นาที
back
แล้วอ่ะ
behind, but the interception is made in the end, I believe, by Alex Scott, and play will continue with Bournemouth in possession. Here's Brooks now, links up well with Evan Nielsen. Evan Nielsen then lays it off to Kluivert. Kluivert now will just go back to
เซมินโญ่นี่มันเล่น
and now
มัน
with
เล่นปีกข
Marcus
วาว่ะ
Senesi, and it
ไม่
feels
ถ
like
นัดเล่นปีก
Arsenal
ขวามันเล่น
in
ปี
the
กซ้าย
opening
ว่ะ
25 and a half
ผมเห็น
minutes have
แม่ง
really exhausted a fair bit of energy.
คนจะหามาแทนไม่รู้ว่าแมนซิตี้จะเอาหรือเปล่านะ ในช่วงเนี่ย
They seem pretty happy
ตลาดหน้าหนาวเนี่ย
Bournemouth into their half.
Yeah, I was watching a video a couple of hours ago that said it is Liverpool Arsenal midweek, isn't it? And the comment was Arsenal will have a miles worse afternoon against Bournemouth than they will Liverpool for the attacking press. That's exactly what you're trying to refer to in terms of the energy they're having to expel. Semenyo's going to be booked here for a foul on Ngapié. You know, Liverpool don't play with this aggression up front as much as there isn't many teams that do play with the aggression that Bournemouth, and that isn't me criticising the Reds or anything. Bournemouth are an all-action team and they don't have the ball. They are having to work tremendously hard, not just mentally,
เอาโนนี่ โอ้โห
physically, both at the same
เอ้ย
time. You can't just switch off physically and go, I'll have a breather. Because mentally, if you don't look around of who's in danger, it's been a good watch this in terms of that department.
นะ สวัสดีนะวิจักรินนะ
Make it a 10 minutes, sorry, a minute after he conceded the goal. He's struggling with Semenyo and Evan Nielsen, and he's very aggressive. That's 2 fouls now when Bournemouth have been counter-attacking Luke. I don't think he'll get a third.
No.
So that's an avenue to watch out for Bournemouth as well. Clearly targeting them both. You know, I mean, for a man that's barely played in the last few months, Gabriel, it's a nightmare fixture to come back to. I know he'll be fine in terms of, you know, the top of the league for a reason, but I'm sure there's a couple of Arsenal defenders that would love Bournemouth to have 5 minutes off.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is you don't tend to get 5 minutes off against the Cherries. That's a loose touch there in midfield from Zubimendi. He's frustrated with himself because he thought there was a chance there to turn. But under pressure from Evan Nielsen, he'll just go back to David Raya. Antoine Semenyo, by the way, picked up his 5th yellow card of the evening. If I'm not mistaken, that would have been a suspension last week, but because we're into the new year, he now needs an extra few before he's suspended. So he's very, very lucky, the Ghanaian international, because this could potentially be his last game for Bournemouth. And I'm not entirely sure his new employers over in Manchester would have been overly happy if he'd joined the club with a suspension, as that's poor again from Zubimendi in midfield. Gives the ball away to Alex Scott this time with the help of Evan Nielsen. Scott now surrounded by multiple players in white and red. So we'll just go back to David Brooks, who's playing almost as an all-action midfielder this evening. Not really playing on the left or the right or in the middle, just popping up everywhere, really. As eventually the ball is spread over onto the far side for Alex Jimenez, the Spanish fullback. It's now back into the midfield, or along the back four, I should say, sorry, with Senesi. Trufair now will look to try and loft one down the left-hand side, looking towards David Brooks, but that's been dealt with well in the end by Yuri and Timber. Now finds Martin Ødegaard, who will lay it off to Declan Rice. Many thought Declan Rice would be out for quite a substantial period of time after catching a conversation he had with Morgan Rogers.
ดูเคเลสเมื่อไหร่มันจะเล่นเข้ากับเพื่อนนั่นทำไม
For a second, as that's on a back ball looking for Gyökeres, but he can't keep it in behind, and that's rolled out of play for a goal kick. But people caught Declan Rice talking to Morgan Rogers, saying how swollen his knee had been and how seemingly he thought that he was going to be out for quite some time. Whether he was just saying that for the cameras to try and create some speculation, I'm not sure. But he seems to be doing fine this evening, which is great to see, because he is one of the best midfielders in the country, potentially in the world as well. And for him to be missing for a long period of time would not only affect Arsenal massively, but England's hopes as well in the World Cup, were he to turn up to Mexico, Canada and America with a bit of an injury. As Semenyo just loses out in midfield there to Martinelli after the long goal kick from Georgi Petrovic. Martinelli does well to hold on to it and just move it back to Saliba. Zubimendi now picks up in the left-back position, plays it down the line for Hincapié, who's looking to try and feed Declan Rice, but he miskicks the pass with his left boot, and it's out of play for a throw-in over on the far side for Bournemouth. Just under half hour gone in this one at the Vitality Stadium. It's independent off-tube studio-based commentary. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan
โอ้โห
Nielsen gave
ดู
the
ดิ
Cherries the
เพื่อน
lead inside 10 minutes before
จับ
Gabriel
บอล
was
ไม่
able to
ได้เลย
return
อยู่เห็น
for
ไหม
his
เนี่ย
error about 6 minutes later from a free kick. As that's a long ball forward looking towards Evan Nielsen for Bournemouth. Saliba will head away, but only as far as
จับ
Clive.
ไม่ได้
Move
เนี่ย
it back to Semenyo. Here now is Evan Nielsen. He's got the run of Tavernier on his left-hand side. Instead he'll go for goal from distance. It's been blocked at source, and then he falls over as he goes to gather it, and Zubamendi will get it clear up towards Gyökeres. Gyökeres tries to feed Rice, who will in turn try to return the ball back to the Swedish international, but it's been blocked well, and now Bournemouth have it back and look to try and come forward straight away. Tavernier with a decent turn, but his pass forward has been blocked, and this attack from the Cherries is relentless, because here they come again. Down the far side, it's Clive born to the box. Tavernier with the effort over the crossbar and out of play for a goal kick. They just do not stop at all, do they? Andoni Iraiola's side, and you can start to see now players like Zubamendi are genuinely behind the pace of play because it just does not stop.
Yeah, he's been quite poor, I think, Zubamendi tonight. He's given the ball away several times. I think Rice has been poor in that department as well, but he's certainly not looked as flustered as Zubamendi has. And yeah, he just switched off. He was behind the players, you say, Luke. He allowed them to advance, and all of a sudden they're under pressure. Evan Nielsen's taken the gloves off to re-tie the boot. Let's hope that is all it is, but he was injured beforehand, but I think he has just had to correct his footwear, so there's no sign of panic just yet for Bournemouth. But yeah, very impressed by the Cherries so far. Don't think it helps that, you know, Gyökeres, the ball isn't sticking with Gyökeres. They need it to, and they've just played it forward of Arsenal twice into his path, and it's pinged off him, mainly because of the Bournemouth pressurising up front as well, you know, defensively as well. They're right in his face, so no room to breathe for them at the moment. Arsenal have come through all challenges this year. Declan Rice, he needs to be careful. He's just given the referee an earful, Luke, from what looked like a 50-50 shoulder barge. He's screaming at the linesman now. It's a very intense affair, this, because, you know, there's a lot riding on it. They're away from home. Villa won earlier. I'm not saying there's a massive title charge on, but end of the day, you can't afford to drop points at this stage of the season.
No, you certainly can't. I think the frustration there for Arsenal is they feel that Gyökeres was fouled by Senesi, which I think he was, and then Rice didn't feel like he'd given away a foul, but he ultimately felt that his side should have been given a free kick, and they weren't, and ultimately allowed Bournemouth back on the front foot. Just in case they are needing to make midfield changes, Arsenal, they feel like they need to change something in that midfield three. Both Christian Norgard and Mikel Merino, slightly more defensive-minded midfields, particularly in the case of Christian Norgard, are available on the bench this evening. Norgard, of course, has got a fair amount of experience up against Bournemouth, having faced them a number of times with Brentford. And Mikel Merino, potentially a bit more of a physical figure. I'll break off because here come Bournemouth down the left-hand side. Here's Truffert, left-footed ball into the box. Has been headed away well in the end by Gabriel. Space opened up down the left-hand side there for Bournemouth. Truffert just skipping away, all marked by Madueke and Timber. And I actually think he ought to do a little bit better with that ball into the box, because there's only Gabriel to beat before Evan Nielsen's there to tap in.
Yeah, again, just playing the space they can get into, playing the cards they dealt, and then try to attack from there. And important Gabriel intervention.
Yeah, absolutely. Corner taken short. Brooks will swing in with his weaker right boot. Rice gets a nick to take it away from Semenyo, and it's out of play for another corner, this time over on the far side. It looks as though Brooks is going over to take with his stronger left boot rather than go shorter. The Clivert's jogging over there as well. Just seeing the action areas popping on our screen from the last 15 minutes. 57% of the ball has been used in the middle third. Barely any of the ball has been in the Bournemouth defensive third. It's been mostly Bournemouth coming forward at the moment. We're just going to have a quick stoppage. Chris Kavanagh just telling some players to keep their hands down and watch what they're doing. Particularly James Hill and Martin Zubamendi. As David Brooks raises his right arm. It'll be a left-footed in-swinger over on the Bournemouth right, and it's a poor one, easily plucked out the air by David Ryan. He sets away Declan Rice, who's going to drive through midfield. This is a great run from Declan Rice. Remember, Semenyo's already on a yellow card. He can't pull him back. Declan Rice feels he was pulled back, and he's still having to go here. Chris Kavanagh, I tell you what, if Declan Rice doesn't get yellow carded this evening, and I'm not sure who is, because he is properly having to go, Chris Kavanagh, as play breaks down for Arsenal eventually, and Bournemouth have it back. Here they come now with Jimenez on the far side. finds Brooks into Clivert, lovely turn away, lays it up to Tavernier with a left-footed strike, blocked well by Timber, and it will be gathered on the halfway line by Senesi. Nobody putting pressure on him from an Arsenal point of view, so Senesi will just knock it back to Alex Scott. Scott will now go further over onto the far side for Hill. Hill into the midfield now for Clivert, so we'll move it over onto the near side for Senesi once more. That's a nice ball forward for Semenyo. He's peeled off onto the near side for now. Senesi then into midfield for Clivert. Clivert turns it around the corner for Tavernier. Tavernier ball in behind, looking back towards Clivert, who will hit the deck. A brief look towards Chris Kavanagh. Nobody in a Bournemouth shirt really appealing for a penalty, and Arsenal can get it clear. But with 10 minutes to go before half-time, it's Bournemouth on the ascendancy. Long ball forward towards David Brooks. He just can't quite bring it down as that was fired over across him. Thumbs up there towards Marcus Senesi. Brooks certainly appreciative of the ball over the top, but just a little bit too far ahead of the Welsh international. And play will continue with the Gunners in possession. Here's Gabriel now for the visitors. We'll just lay it up to Martin, drop deep in between the two centre halves to pick the ball, links up with Declan Rice before moving it over to the far side for Gabriel. Bournemouth now going to step up and put the squeeze on as Arsenal taking too long along the back four. Saliba play it down the line for Madueke, holds off Truffert well, and we'll move it back to William Saliba. He's just going to move across the penalty area, held up well by Evan Nielsen before moving it across to Gabriel. Gabriel will then be pressured by Clivert, so Rice then picks it up under pressure from Scott. It's now all the way back at the feet to David Raya, who finds Saliba, steps into midfield and feeds Martin Ødegaard. Ødegaard then feeds Madueke, one-on-one now with Truffert. We know what he wants to do, get it on his left foot. He's forced to go back to Ødegaard, but he's got a bit of space in front of him to step into. Now Bournemouth are forced to get bodies back. Ødegaard now back onto the near side for Madueke, one-on-one with Truffert once more. Semenyo's dropped deep to cover the run of Timber. Madueke now just back to Martin Ødegaard, who's getting heavily involved now in the last couple of minutes or so. Ødegaard just lays things off to Zubamendi. Zubamendi now over onto the far side for Martinelli. He's been quiet so far in this first half, but here he is trying to get away from Jimenez. The Spaniard does well to hold him up initially, but Martinelli keeps a hold of the ball, still trying to get it onto his favoured right boot. Cross into the box is an easy one to be dealt with by Alex Scott. And William Saliba will now look to try and turn away from Evan Nielsen. He's done well to get away from the Brazilian and feed Martin Ødegaard. He's then held well by Tavernier and has to restart back inside the centre circle. Clivert will go across with the Norwegian, try and put him off, but eventually the ball finds its way to Martinelli again, one-on-one with Alex Jimenez. Bournemouth clearly trusting their full-backs as they lead on one-on-one with the Arsenal wingers. Martinelli, again, a poor ball into the box, again easily headed away by Alex Scott, and again, Arsenal got to start from the halfway line. This, as opposed to the little bit defensive respite that Arsenal were looking for, but they're not really making a huge too many inroads.
No, they're not. I think it's an important spell in the game. One another free kick here, which is a massive frustration for Jimenez because he's fouled Martinelli, and again, it gives them a set-piece opportunity. We are going to finally get a chance to look at this incident involving Semenyo. I don't think it was a yellow card myself.
It's not a yellow card.
Rice has been a bit desperate. Yes, he pulls at the arm, but not enough to send him a second yellow card. It's not enough for a first yellow card. You know, it really isn't. No. Anything to get excited about. No, it certainly isn't. I don't think Semenyo does anything at all there, really, that would stop Declan Rice from continuing to move the ball forward. It's not one of those where you go, he is actively hammering him. That is something you see every single time a player is running alongside somebody in the opposition. And ultimately, it's just, I think, a bit of frustration showing from Declan Rice. But here is the former West Ham man to swing a ball into the box. And Nkapé thinks he's won a corner. Referee Chris Kavanagh and his assistant say no, and it's to be a goal kick. Maybe a little bit too much pace on the ball from Declan Rice, but I still thought he was into a decent area. Mikel Arteta is now going to have a word with the referee's assistant and the fourth official, but you can understand why the goal kick was given. It didn't look like it had taken too much of a nick, as Arsenal now once again will look to try and build up from the back. Here's Zubamendi. We'll just move it square to Martin Ødegaard. Just going to slow things down before moving square to Gabriel. Clivert's then going to pressure the Brazilian. He's done really well here, Clivert, although Gabriel does even better to hold on to the ball. Martinelli will then go back to Gabriel, as Arsenal just trying to keep a hold of possession for a moment or so. Keep things ticking just before half-time. See if they can end the half with a flurry. Here's
Ødegaard once more along the halfway. Finds Hincapié, does well to feed Martinelli. Martinelli return ball looking back towards Hincapié, loose first touch, sees him run out of play and out for a goal kick, and he's hurt himself in the process there as Hincapié rolling along the AstroTurf. He'll be a nasty friction burn on his elbow by the looks of things, but he'll be okay to get up and carry on. It's a good bit of defending there from James Hill, who sticks with the runner really quite well and sees him run out of play for a goal kick. Camera just lingering on Andoni Iraola, whose side over the last 5 minutes have just taken the foot off the gas for a moment or so, understandably, given how much energy they've exhausted in those opening 35 minutes or so. As Petrovic will launch a ball down the far side, looking for Semenyo. Beautiful first touch to bring it down, and an even better second to try and turn away from Hincapié. He's now been doubled up, though, by Hincapié and Martinelli, so we'll cut in on his left boot. Finds Evan Nielsen back to Semenyo, who goes for goal first time on his right boot. It was never set up for him to hit that first time on his right boot, and ultimately comfortably over the crossbar. But that's the first time they've really, I feel, got him to properly have a run there at Hincapié one-on-one. He links up well with Evan Nielsen. It just doesn't quite make the most of the potential opportunity.
Yeah, he gets his technique really wrong. Leans back, gets his foot underneath the ball. But, yeah, they've got to try and find some space for him. They've allowed, on the opposite flank, you know, very little as well, Arsenal. Kluivert's joy has come in the middle in pockets, as has Tavernier, to be fair. So, try to get Semenyo inside will be an option, I think, for the second half, as Arsenal now bring it forward with Gabriel at one apiece.
Yeah, they do. Ball spread over onto the far side for Martinelli, again one-on-one with Jimenez. So, got a bit of tracking back there from Kluivert to support the young full-back. As now Ødegaard will chip one over the top, looking back towards Martinelli. Jimenez has done brilliantly well there to see that out of play.
เป็นโยปีกทีมชาติเก่านะ
20 years of age. He's
ขนาด
played
เท้าเลยวะ
it's his first season in the Premier
ขนาด
League,
เท้าขวาเหรอ
but it's his first proper season, I'd say, of first team football consistently week in, week out. And at times this season, he has struggled at fullback, but he does have his moments where you think there is a real player in there, and he's been really impressive so far this season. That's another example, just seeing that ball roll out of play for a goal kick. I think the flag may have gone up, though, for a foul potentially given, because Petrovic has now got a free kick to take just inside his penalty area rather than a goal kick, in which the former Chelsea goalkeeper will just launch this one long towards Evan Nielsen. It's over the head of the Brazilian, but Gabriel will win it and head it back into midfield.
Martinelli พาจีเข้าไป
towards
ปาร์ตี้
the Arsenal back line before it's cleared further down the field, where Gyökeres will battle for it, and then Kluivert's seen the ball out of play for a throw in on the far side, which Rice thinks should be his throw, but again the decision goes against the England international, and it will be a throw for Bournemouth, which they take quickly. Jimenez into Scott, back to Jimenez, will go all the way back to Senesi, fires it onto the near side for Truffert, one-on-one with Madueke. Doesn't fancy running at the former Chelsea man, so we'll just move it inside to Scott, back to Truffert once more, and then Tavernier will look to try and fire it around the corner first time with his left boot, but that's been won in the end by Rice, who, as he won his side, has thrown on the near side. Or is it a free kick? Because he was bundled into the back of there by David Brooks. I believe it's just going to be a throw, and his Rice looks rather dejected. It's been a difficult first half for him and Zubomendi. Ødegaard has done well, but I don't think he's quite got on the ball as much as he would have liked, the Arsenal captain. And then there's the likes of Gyökeres and Martinelli, particularly Gyökeres. We mentioned Martinelli a bit more in the last 10 minutes, but Gyökeres really has barely been involved. The ones that we've mentioned the most have been the likes of Saliba and Gabriel, it has to be said. Timber as well has been pretty quiet so far, but Hincapié has moved well down the Arsenal left-hand side. As Gabriel will now feed Martinelli down the Arsenal left. Semenyo's now going to put the squeeze on Gabriel as he goes back to David Raya. Loose touch from Raya interests Evan Nielsen, but Raya will get it clear. That's a poor header there from James Hill, and a counter-attack opportunity now as Martinelli will try and feed Madueke into the penalty area. Easy clearance away as his pass was scuffed, and Bournemouth can get it clear. But that was a really good opportunity for Arsenal. I'll bring Tom in a second, because here's Gyökeres now. Just Semenyo gives the ball away in midfield. Gyökeres steps inside, feeds Zubomendi. Zubomendi now will just slow things down before finding Declan Rice. Declan Rice doesn't see all the space over on the near side that Timber is showing him. Zubomendi now will move it over onto the near side for Saliba. Saliba now finds Timber, who's held up well by David Brooks. Now down the line for Madueke. Madueke back inside for Zubimendi. Patient play this from Arsenal with 30 seconds left to go till the half-time interval. Here's Piero Hincapié. Nobody really showing for him in the forward area, so we'll go back to Gabriel. Gabriel back inside now for Saliba. Saliba down the line finds Timber.
Oh,
We'll go inside to Odegaard, but it's all back for his captain. And Bournemouth have it back in midfield with David Brooks. He'll just lay it off to Trufair.
โอ้โหแล้วสัตว์และเคลียร์ดีด้วย
Pumping it long down the near side. Clivert will challenge Saliba, but that's not really a contest, is it really? And Saliba will head forward, and then Bournemouth will just launch it back all the way back towards David Reyes. The fourth official holds up 2 minutes as there will be added on at the end of the first half. But really good opportunity for Martinelli down the left-hand side a moment ago, and he makes a bit of a hash of the pass inside.
Yeah, if the pass is in front, they've got a great chance to score, Luke. If Madueke can get to it on the opposite wing, it's not a massively easy pass when he's under pressure and sliding, but I think if he did that 10 times, you'd probably expect him to execute it at least half of those. So fine margins. I think this game will be decided by that. I don't think it'll be as frantic as the second half goes on forever. Players will tire naturally, but yeah, Arsenal in a moment of quality in key areas. Bournemouth need a key error, and they might have got one here from Gabriel playing a pass forward, and here come the cherries.
Yeah, they do. Alex Scott linking up well with Antoine Semenyo. He's then been brought down on the edge of the penalty area there by Hincapié. Referee says no foul, and play will continue as Arsenal get themselves out of a hole. Here's Martinelli driving. Playing it onto the near side for Madueke. Instead, we'll just go back to Saliba, who himself will find the former PSV and Chelsea winger. Madueke goes one way, then the other. Lovely flick to try and turn away from David Brooks. Instead, he'll just lay it off though to Timber. Timber now to Odegaard. Odegaard held up well by Tavernier. Here's Zubimendi. Zubimendi over onto the far side for Hincapié. Hincapié trying to get away from Semenyo. We'll just lay it off to Gabriel. He's born to the box. It's incredibly disappointing. He'll bounce through to Georgi Petrovic, and that allows the opposition to kill a bit of time.
You're being harsh there. Took a deflection.
Oh, my apologies. It looked like it was a poor pass. But again, Gabriel heavily involved again. Oh, that's a terrible pass on break off. Sinesi's played an awful ball out. Rice, ball through to Odegaard. Odegaard into the penalty area. Can he create the space? He's been held up well by Tavernier. Eventually finds his way to Martinelli. Back to Odegaard. The chance seems to have gone for Arsenal as they're forced backwards, although still no whistle from Chris Kavanagh as Odegaard has the ball into the penalty area. Finds Piero Hincapié, who takes his time over it, and there goes the half-time whistle. And what a first half it's been at the Vitality Stadium. Inside 10 minutes, Bournemouth had the lead through Evan Nielsen, pouncing on a poor pass from Gabriel. 10 minutes later, it was the Brazilian centre-half to equalise for Arsenal from the delivery into the penalty area. But at half-time, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1.
โอ้จบแล้วจบแล้ว
Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break.
เรียบร้อยนะครับจบครึ่งแรกครับเพื่อนๆอาร์เซนอลนะครับ
Half-time at the Vitality Stadium.
เสมอบอลมัดนะครับ 1-1 นะครับเพื่อน
Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a
ก็
horror
อาร์เซนอลนะครับความผิดพลาดนะของกาเบรียลมากันเยนะครับนาทีที่10นะทำให้เปิดไปนะครับทำให้อีวาลิสันนะครับเพื่อนๆอัดบอลได้แล้วก็ยิงโล่งๆเข้าไปเลยนะครับแล้วก็อาร์เซนอลนะครับประตูเสมอจากกาเบรียลมากันเยนะครับนาทีที่16นะครับทำให้จบครึ่งแรกนะครับเสมอไป 1-1 นะเพื่อนเดี๋ยวเขาว่ากันว่าครึ่งหลังจะแก้เกมอย่างไรนะเพื่อน
after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal won. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no
เพื่อนช
pressure.
นะยากวันมัดอาร์เซนอลเคยแพ้ไปกลับเลยนะใช่พี่
Didn't see Evan
นั่นสิ
Nielsen
ครับ
in
พี่
the red and black
แต่วันนี้ผมว่า
stripes of Bournemouth stood
ไม่น่าแพ้หรอกพี่
played it
อาร์เซ
straight
นอล
to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes.
พี่จักรินผมว่าไม่
It's been a rampant first
ไม่
half
น่า
in which
แพ้หรอก
Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from
เพื่อน
Gabriel
เข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะเพื่อน
pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't
จั
see
กริน
Evan
ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วย
Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him.
สวัสดีนะครับพี่จักรินสวัสดีปีใหม่นะ เจอกันใหม่แล้วพี่นะ
A few moments later, 6 minutes
ปี
in
ใหม่
fact
ละ
thumping
ปี
home.
2026 แล้วเวลาก็ผ่านไปไวเหลือเกิน
It's 1-1 at the break.
7.5 พอใช่ไหมพี่จักรินสำหรับผมนะผมให้7ผมว่ายังเล่นไม่ดีว่ะโยเคเนสแม่งยังเล่นกับเพื่อนไม่ได้หน้าที่น้องคือเล่นไม่ได้เลยพี่มีมาดูริเก้คนเดียวที่ปิดๆอ่ะคนอื่นยังนิ่งอยู่เลยเพื่อนโยเคเนสก็ยังเล่นกับเพื่อนไม่ได้เลยพี่ให้1.5ผมให้7เองขนาดผมเป็นแฟนอาร์เซนอลนะพี่ผมว่ามันไม่ได้
Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth
ไม่อวย
stood 5 yards away.
ดูครึ่งหลังนะเพื่อนว่าครึ่งหลังเยอะเกิน
Scored. Gabriel, in fairness
กู
to
ขอไป
him,
กิน
then
น้ำ
made
ก่อน
amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact,
เพื่อนๆเข้าไปแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับสวัสดีปีใหม่นะพี่ๆเพื่อนทุกคนนะครับ
Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half. It's 1-1 at the break. Half time at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1.
มาร์ตินลี่ยังนิ่งอยู่เลยมาร์ตี้ยังเล่นไม่ได้เลยพี่
pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He
เดี๋ยว
then
ดูว่า
scored.
เพื่อนๆว่าครึ่งหลังจะแก้ไงตัวสำรองเราก็จะมีตัวแก้เกมเยอะเอเซ่มิเกลมูริโน่กาเบรียลเจซุสบูโกโยซาก้าทอสซาโอ้โหตัวสำรองเราพร้อมมากพี่จริงๆตัวสำรองเราพร้อมใช่รอที่เด็ดจากมาหน้าสำรองคือตัวสำรองเรานี่มากเพื่อน ก็เดี๋ยวดูนะเพื่อนมีให้เพื่อนๆตอบคำถามนะพักครึ่งแรกเพื่อนๆให้คะแนนอาร์เซนอลเต็ม10นะครับกี่คะแนนนะจากเต็ม10นะเพื่อนฝากเพื่อนๆนะครับเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากติดตามแล้วก็สวัสดีปีใหม่พี่ๆเพื่อนๆทุกคนเลยนะเพื่อน
Half-time at the Vitality Stadium. It is
สวัสดี
Bournemouth
ปีใหม่
1,
เพื่อนๆพี่ๆทุกคนเลย
Arsenal
นะ
1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure. He put a no-look pass thinking Saliba was unmarked. Didn't see Evan Nielsen in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth stood 5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel, in fairness to him, then made amends just a few moments later. 6 minutes, in fact, thumping home. It's been a rampant first half in which Bournemouth have caused issues. It's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at the Vitality Stadium. It is Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Evan Nielsen scored the easiest goal they'll get all year after a horror pass from Gabriel under no pressure.
วิลล่าขึ้นมาที่2แล้วอย่างว่าพี่วิลล่าเดี๋ยวเรามาดูกันอย่างเพื่อนมาไหนๆก็นี่ละ
5 yards away, played it straight to him. He then scored. Gabriel
มาดูกันว่าคะแนนนี่ครับครึ่งแรกจากเว็บไอ้นี่นะเขาให้คะแนนมาดูเอเก้กับซูเปอร์เมนดี้นะครับเล่นดีที่สุดเลยนะเพื่อนเรามาดูตารางกันครับเพื่อนๆก็วิลล่านะครับขึ้นมาอยู่ที่2แล้วแข่ง20นัดนะชนะไป3-1นะชนะนอตติงแฮมฟอเรสต์มาอยู่ที่2แล้ว20นัดมี42คะแนนนะตามมาเซนตอน4คะแนนถ้าวันนี้อาร์เซนอลชนะเขาจะมี49คะแนนแต่ขอชนะเหอะอาร์เซนอลนะครับพรุ่งนี้ให้แมนซิตี้ให้เชลซีสกัดซิตี้ก็โอเคแล้วอ่ะเอาจริงเนี่ยพรุ่งนี้ให้ซิตี้แพ้เชลซีหรือเสมอเชลซีก็สบายแล้วล่ะนะเชลซีเพิ่งเปลี่ยนโค้ชด้วยไงแต่วันนี้ครึ่งหลังอะยังแต่คือเราพูดตรงๆว่าตัวสำรองของเราอ่ะก็ยังมีตัวดีๆเยอะเพื่อนอย่างเอเซ่มิเกลโมริโน่บูโยซาก้ากาเบรียลเจซุสทอสซานะครับถ้ายูเคเลสมันเล่นไม่ได้ก็ควรนั่งสำรองนะผมพูดจริงๆนะว่ายูเคเลสควรนั่งสำรองถ้ามันไม่เล่นกับเพื่อนไม่ได้ขนาดนี้เพื่อนสำหรับดูอย่างครึ่งแรกนะเพื่อนมีโอกาสยิงนะครับครั้งเดียวยิงไปติดบล็อกด้วยนะครับแล้วก็สัมผัสบอลไปทั้งหมด17ครั้งเท่านั้นเองสัมผัสบอลในกรอบเขตโทษแค่2ครั้งเองคือมันน้อยจริงๆสำหรับวิกโตร์ยูเคเลสเขาเล่นไม่ได้ก็พักก่อนเพื่อนฤดูกาลนี้ถ้าไม่ได้จริงๆก็พักลงมาตัวสำรองเอาอาจจะมีบทบาทมากกว่านี้ผมว่านะอาจจะมีบทบาทมากกว่านี้อีกเยอะแต่เราก็พูดไม่ได้เนาะเราก็ไม่ใช่ตัวเดต้าใช่ไหมล่ะแต่สำหรับผมมองว่าอยากให้โยเคเลสนั่งสำรองนะถ้าเล่นไม่ได้จริงๆก็ควรนั่งสำรองไปพักก่อนนะเอาจริงในช่วงวันที่30ก็ที่เจอวิลล่าผมเข้าป่าไงแล้วผมเองก็โพสอะไรไม่ได้สัญญาณไม่มีเลยเพื่อนผมเองเข้าป่าไงแล้วไม่มีสัญญาณเลยไปเดินป่ามาไงเหนื่อยชิบหายนะครับพรุ่งนี้เดี๋ยวมาไลฟ์พี่แมนยูไปเยือนลีดนะ20:30นะครับปีนี้เอาจริงแล้วพี่ปีนี้ไม่เล่นแล้วปีนี้นี่ไม่ติดสาวแล้วจะโพสต์บ่อยๆแล้วพี่ ขออภัยพี่ปีที่แล้วติดเล่นไปหน่อย ไม่ติดเล่นแล้วไม่ติดเลยติดสาวไปหน่อยผมเพื่อนเดี๋ยวรอดูแป๊บนึงนะเดี๋ยวรอดูครึ่งหลังนะครับ
A fine start from Bournemouth, putting the pressure on, attacking with vigour. It was enjoyable to watch, and then all of a sudden they got the goal through a mistake from Gabriel, and then he made amends. The pressure never stops from Bournemouth. Right from the first whistle, they've shown what they're about. Arsenal with Zubimendi and Rice failed to get a foothold in the game. Defensively, between both centre mid, they've got to do better. We've got no changes from either side at the break. Arsenal do have a throw-in inside the first minute of this second half, so there's already been a change in emphasis because
เพื่อนๆครึ่งหลังมาแล้ว
by this point Bournemouth had nearly won a corner in the first half, and here come Arsenal conceding a throw-in. For Bournemouth, it's Petrovic, Truffer, Senesi, Hill, Jimenez, Tavernier, Scott,
ครึ่งหลังมาแล้วครึ่งหลังมาแล้ว
Semenyo, Evan Nilsson. Arsenal go with Raya,
ตอนเพื่อนลุยครึ่งหลังกันต่อ
Gabriel, Gapier, Odegaard, Zubimendi, Rice, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Madueke. Myself, Tom Hill and Luke Asher is bringing you all the action. Gyökeres had to turn his man. Arsenal do believe we've got the most goals in the Premier League between the 46 minutes and the hour mark. They're going to need a big upturn in fortunes though, Luke, because I'm not saying they were poor in the first half. I think they were pushed to their limits and they didn't break. They stayed pretty firm after an error from Gabriel. They would argue that apart from Gabriel's error, they would be in the lead, and that is, you know, David Raya only had to be diving for one effort. That wasn't the full tale of the tape though. This was a competitive affair. They're both going at it. There's high press, there's challenges flying in. I'm really looking forward to the second half.
Yeah, so am I. I think it was a really interesting first 45. I think Arsenal were very much tested in that first half, like you said, and I think it's a game where I kind of look at Arsenal and I look at them and think you're almost playing Bournemouth at the worst time. I don't know, Bournemouth are in terrible form. They haven't won a game since the end of October, but to play a team like Bournemouth when games are coming thick and fast, it does make it incredibly difficult. But as we saw that stat come up on the screen, they are very, very good at the start of second halves. And I think if they can do that again, if they can go and get a goal before the hour mark, all of a sudden Bournemouth are going to start having to push forward, and the space is going to start opening up when Bournemouth are a bit tighter. So I think the start of the second half is going to be crucial for Arsenal. The free kick is floated in, flicked on by Hincapié, not properly dealt with by Bournemouth, until Marcus Tavernier comes across and fires the ball away, potentially out for a corner. No, Semenyo will get it clear.
Yeah, but he's only played it to Rice in midfield. It goes back to Odegaard. I do wonder if Rice realised if he'd have turned the other way, he had a bit of space behind him. He didn't even glance over his left shoulder. Here is Zubimendi, back to Raya. Raya's going to play it forward. It's nearly picked out Madueke. It's just under hit inside of him. Timber jumps for a header and he's mistimed his connection. Madueke jumps in front of Truffer to stop him taking a forward throw-in. Said he rolled it to Tavernier instead. Now here is Senesi. He will step forward and he just passes it into the middle for Kluivert. Played out to Semenyo, pardon me. Making an inside run is Jimenez. It's spotted by Semenyo, but he's just under hit the pass. Zubimendi will clear. And if only Semenyo had realised that the effort that Jimenez was making to get inside, he might have played that pass either earlier or in front of him. It was quite a lazy ball in from Semenyo.
Yeah, it certainly was, but I also think Semenyo could have potentially held on to it and cut in on his left boot instead. That run from Jimenez is not necessarily one of those runs where you've got to play it because he's in acres of space. It's one of those that's like, okay, if you can find him, he's probably in a decent position, but if you don't find him, he's at least taking a man with him and it opens up the space inside the box. And the end, Semenyo doesn't find him. He doesn't cut in on his left foot, and ultimately the chance goes to begging. But already positive signs for Bournemouth. I would argue that all that space was there for Semenyo initially when the ball came over. Arsenal clearly looking to try and commit bodies forward at the start of this second half, which could be potentially quite dangerous. We'll have to wait and see, but they're coming forward now.
Odegaard out to Madueke. Back it goes to Zubimendi. Back to Odegaard, who goes around the corner. Just past Zubimendi into Gabriel. Here is Rice. Steps over the ball looking for an avenue, Declan Rice. And Bournemouth just, they're not standing off him, but they're not exactly in his face. Just enough to make him force go backwards. He wasn't happy at the lack of options. Back to Gabriel, and here now goes to Martinelli. Gabriel goes on the attack again, looking forward. But he's near halfway and he rolls it out to Martinelli, who's trying to try and back up Jimenez. Decides again's running at him and just rolls it inside to Zubimendi. Telling him to go wide right is Odegaard. Now Saliba goes the other way. Trying to stretch and pull Bournemouth out of position here are the Gunners. Here is Rice to Zubimendi. Odegaard is sitting in a pocket, but he's behind the two Bournemouth midfielders, so there's no avenue to pass it to him. Here is Saliba. Wide to Gabriel again. Rolls it to Rice. Back to Gabriel. Rice again gesturing. So 2 midfielders in Arsenal colours trying to play Arsenal forward by gesturing. Their teammates to go. That ball towards Martinelli will be overhit. I mean, Bournemouth didn't actually do much there, Luke. They stayed rigid to positions, but it's not as if they were going gung-ho. And Arsenal just never found an avenue. They enjoyed to play it forward, all very conservative, and now they give it away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think almost the expectation from Arsenal in this second half is that Bournemouth are going to continue putting the squeeze on and really making things difficult on your first touch, but once you evade that initial pressure, your pass is almost made for you by the space that's opened up. Well, Bournemouth have actually been really regimented. They've man-marked tightly and they've covered off the space well, so that Arsenal are forced to almost be inventive on the ball, something that actually not too often some of these players are asked to do. That's a good bit of play there from Madueke looking towards Simba, but Senesi reads it well.
Yeah, down the line clearance. Suamendi then puts it straight back under pressure. Senesi headers it away. Scoops it down the line. Pass looking for Evan Nielsen. Salibra just
ไม่วิ่งมาผู้เล่นบอลมัดก็คุมโซนสบาย
The referee a quickly taken free kick over the top to Brooks. He was running through on goal here. Brooks has got a tight angle. He goes for goal. He's whipped it just past the post. David Raya running after the ball. A few Arsenal defenders claiming that free kick shouldn't have been allowed to be taken so quickly. But I mean, I don't see anything in that, by the way. The Saliba incident on Evan Nielsen, I thought it was relatively tame. Then the quickly taken free kick. The referee's happy to let it go, and Brooks is away. He's running through on goal. He has to go for goal because on his own. The issue is going across the goal is very difficult then. In fairness to Raya, he never looked troubled, but Arsenal's defence did.
Yeah, they certainly did. Zubimendi panicked there, didn't he? He was really caught off guard with the quick free kick. I think you're right. I don't think it is a foul, but I don't think Arsenal can complain about it being taken quickly. That's absolutely fine. You have to be switched on and ready to go. That's a good flick on.
Yeah, it is Martinelli looking for Gyökeres, just can't find space. Falling to Odegaard, lays it off to Declan Rice, who'll go for goal and fires home. Declan Rice at his very best yet again. Knee slide to celebrate in front of the Gunners fans. He is the man once more for Arsenal. The technique is perfect. It's come from nowhere, but it all stemmed from that ball that mentioned. Over the top to Gyökeres, put Bournemouth under pressure. Declan Rice did the business.
Yeah, absolutely. It's superb from Declan Rice for his third league goal of the season. Wonderful finish into the bottom corner. So much credit has got to go to Gabriel Martinelli for that flick onto Victor Gyökeres. While it doesn't lead to anything directly for the Swedish forward, it just puts Bournemouth under so much pressure. And we said, didn't we, they're so good at scoring at the start of second halves are Arsenal, and it's going to put Bournemouth under pressure. It's going to force Bournemouth out and open up the space for Arsenal, and that's exactly what they want to happen. It's brilliant from the Gunners. It really is just improvising in and around the final third. Absolutely superb from Declan Rice. Frank Lampard-esque, arriving late on the edge of the penalty area. Doesn't overcomplicate the finish. Tucks it brilliantly into the bottom corner. Nothing anybody in a Bournemouth shirt can do about it. And it's 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, really good. Odegaard as well. Patient. Could have gone for goal, Odegaard, but clearly thought there was a better option in Rice and just slots it to him. And very calm and composed finish. Just what they needed. Such a crucial time. 10 minutes into the second half. You want to start asserting your dominance if you're the title favourites. And now it's up to Bournemouth to go and chase this game. And you wonder if it'll open up a lot more if that's the case, as Odegaard ignores 4 teammates in front of him and he apologises. He went for the killer pass to Gyökeres as Gabriel nips in with a timely interception. Rice only just avoids the Antoine Semenyo from Man City staff and board members had a heart in mouse moment there as Rice just missed the top of his boot.
อีกแล้วสุดยอดนะเพื่อน 2-1 โอ้ยิงอย่างดีครับโอดิการ์ดไหลดีเลยใครยิงดีอะ
And it will be a corner.
แน่นอนครับโอ้โหนี่คือไลท์ครับนาทีที่
when they need them. Even better when you look at the fact that they've rested Bukayo Saka today.
มาครับเพื่อน 2-1 ครับมาละ
You can't sleep on them as they come here with this corner.
มาละเพื่อน
Looping ball in from Kluivert towards Evan Nielsen. Cleared away. It'll fall out to Tavernier in midfield, who goes back to towards Jimenez with Martinelli under pressure for him. Here is Tavernier. Down the line to Jimenez, who's looking for a way through. He thumps it across the box, and it's a terrible delivery from... you can see what he was trying to do. He's trying to develop the power himself, put some real purchase on the ball. He's sanded though.
เย็ดเคอิมิเนสมึงเล่นดีบอลสกูบอลสกอร์สูงผ่านแล้วจริงเหรอพี่สูงแค่เท่าไหร่ 2.5 หรือ 3
Yeah, we certainly
ครับพี่
are. Just think it.
น่าจะ 2.5 หรือ 3
You're just a little bit frustrated with your team's lack of tracking of the run of Declan Rice. To me, I've seen an awful lot this season. Teams have been caught out by those late runs into the box because they've almost dropped too deep into their own penalty area, and I think that's another example of it there. I think if you're Iraola, you don't want Alex Scott deeper than the penalty spot in that situation, and that's exactly where he was. I saw it last weekend in the game between Liverpool and Wolves, where Liverpool got their opening goal through Ryan Gravenberch because every single Wolves midfielder was basically inside the 6-yard box, and there's nobody tracking the run, and there's nobody there to try and react to that pass once it is eventually cut back. That's another example of it there, but take nothing away from Arsenal. I think it's a superbly worked goal. I think they improvise it brilliantly well. That's obviously not how they like to score their goals. They don't want to be playing hoofball up to Victor Gyökeres and looking to win flick-ons and second balls. But if that's how they're going to win a game, that's what they need to do, and they've done it superbly there.
Yeah, here's Semenyo. Stands does Hincapié, but then he bounces off him. Semenyo running through under the box, puts a lovely ball in out towards the far post for Brooks. Timber gets across. Oh, what a moment that could have been for Semenyo. Now, Timber's adamant it took a last touch off Brooks. I think he could be right, but we'll get a replay of it. And Semenyo's ball, it's a striker's dream. You're asking for a touch. It's very hard to tell, Luke, who got the last touch. We might get a better replay here. It is Brooks. Yeah. Brooks smashes it into the stands. Timber had a great point.
Yeah, he did. Really good bit of defending there from Yuri and Timber, and they'll be absolutely furious if Bournemouth can do anything from this corner, which they can't. It's well dealt with in the end by Arsenal until the strike comes in from Jimenez. And, well, Arsenal live to fight another day, at least for the moment.
Here is Cliver again. Oh, he smashed it into the box. Senesi doesn't even know where that went. I don't know if he knows where he is at the minute. He runs back. It's such a powerful effort. Odegaard gets stood up, though. It's some good defending by Hill. Tavernier's gliding inside. Arsenal have allowed him to do so. Shot comes in, and Raya makes an easy save. Down in front of him, Evan Nielsen tries to block him off. Raya tries to get him penalised, which he has managed to do so.
Timber.
And I didn't expect to be watching drama at the Vitality Stadium, but here we are. School production is on show.
Arsenal are leading by a goal. We're going to see this now for the rest of the game. I'm not sure it's the most surprising thing. I think what's the most surprising thing is the referee actually pulled it back for a free kick, given that Evan Nielsen was just trying to get back into position. But I get the feeling we're going to see quite a lot of that from Arsenal now for the rest of the game.
It's ball played forward from Rice. And it's played into the path of Petrovic. Kick goes to Tavernier. Here is Truffet. Down the line. And Timber knocks it inside to Lenny. Puts a bit of extra effort in to get it to Rice. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 2.
Hey.
Madueke as the hour mark is about to approach. Madueke is getting his head down here, trying to get to the bar line. Goes past Truffet. Does it know the defender comes back for a second nibble? Yes, he concedes a corner, but if he doesn't slide in, I think that might be an avenue for Madueke to play a pass at the very last second. There's some good individual battles forming now, Luke, where we still have a game on our hands. You know, Arsenal might have to get 4 to totally kill Bournemouth off. That's the way they play. But there's just some good stand-up, you know, 50-50s. Timber against Brooks, Semenyo against Hincapié.
2 ลูกครึ่งครบ
You've got that option there as well in that final third for Madueke.
ตอนนั้นได้ครึ่งหนึ่งก็โอเคแล้วพี่ไม่เสียก็บุญแล้ว
The hour mark now is beyond us. So Gabriel marked by Semenyo. The Brazilian, he's always the main target from a set piece. Makes an inside run. Madueke has had something thrown in his direction, which he throws straight back over the hoardings in the far corner. It is another near post ball. Of all people.